Why is it okay for women to say, oh, you're 5 feet on dating sites? You should be dead? That's okay?
Who said that to you here? Nobody.
Women in general have said it on dating sites. You think I'm making that shit up? Yeah. Shut your mouth. You're not God or my father or my boss.
So maybe you remember or maybe you don't remember the NYC bagel guy from 5-6 years ago. He had his 15 minutes of fame after this, you know, because the video went viral. They started interviewing him everywhere. Like he was on the news and Howard Stern, all types of places. You can go and just type in short bagel guy, argue, whatever. You could type that in. But listen, found out he had a YouTube page. All of his videos are from 5 years ago. Once the clock ran out on the 15 minutes, that was it. After researching, everything stops in 2019. I couldn't find any information. He had a stroke in 2019 as well during peak fame, and still had a few posts after that, you know, on his social media and things of that nature, but it all pretty much stopped there. So with that being said, that's the only information. I can't find anything 2020 and beyond as far as, you know, what he's been into. But I found his page, and what a delight it is. So I'm going to play one of the videos, and we're going to react to one of the other ones. So let's play this real quick.
So you don't want to go back to my place?
No.
You don't want to hang out?
No, I'm going home.
You don't want to fool around?
No.
You know I'm spending $750,000, right? It's a lot of money, right?
We'll see.
Why not today? I came all the way out to pick you up to hang out for 2 hours, huh?
Yeah.
So why don't we go back?
Come on, hurry up, Chris.
Why don't we go back to my place for a little while? Why?
Because I gotta go home.
Well,
can you open the door for me?
all right, give me 1 minute. I gotta open the door, hold on. Let's go back around. Let's go back around and take a visit. That greedy bitch. Huh? That greedy bitch, where is she? Where is she? I'm gonna fuck with her again. $750,000 I said I'm gonna spend on her, and she don't even want to let me fool around with her. Really?
Now, I put that clip in there just because it's interesting and it gives you an idea of who we are reacting to. Before I continue, how, like, the car that you have, how the fuck would anybody believe that you were going to give her $700,000? How could anybody be like, fucking ridiculous? But this is going to be the video we're reacting to. Women disappoint me. And I am going to do a lot of freeze frames because he is blowing gas in the video. So let's get to it.
Hey folks, me again. Listen, if I could sum this up in the least amount of words that I can. Dating should not be this difficult. Men just want to eat and fuck. That's it. Now, if women could go along with that, you'll have a successful relationship. Another thing I gotta say, from here on out, if I meet any girl in the future, we get know each other's number, okay? I want you to tell me off the bat whether you like me or not, intimately. Because I ain't got no time for that other bullshit. So don't exchange numbers, tell me, yeah, let's go do this tomorrow. And then you never hit me up. Or, you know, you play the game and then you text me you like me. And then days later you say, you never said it. So, I'm putting it out there. I'm a gentleman. I take care of a lot of people. I pay for their dinners. So do me a favor. Don't fucking jerk me around. If you like me, you know where I'm coming from. I need intimacy like all guys do. From the get-go. I'm not expecting sex on the first date. Actually, I prefer you didn't. But I'm not waiting 2-3 weeks either. I can only pay for so many of your meals and you're going to get intimate with me. That's where I'm coming from. You got to respect that. I'm being honest. You either want to or you don't want to. But you tell me. Don't jerk me around and lie to me or feel you can't. I will respect you more when you're honest and just tell me I don't like you like that. But even after I've had girls tell me that, they're still coming back and hit me up after they block me. Then they make plans and then they don't even call me. Do you understand now why I'm crazy and where this is coming from? I don't need these games anymore from your women. So do me a favor. If we meet and you like me, tell me where your head is at. Exactly how you like me, what you like to do with me, the whole 9 yards. I'm not going to look down on you and think you're a pig or nothing like that. I will respect you from you. I'm a 45-year-old man. I don't want these fucking 18-year-old games. So I don't care what it is, but tell me from the get-go. And if you don't, I'm just going to cut you off. It's that simple.
Now listen, y'all know I'm a real dude. I'm a fair dude. He ain't said nothing wrong yet, except he lacks a fundamental understanding. And before I get to that fundamental understanding, I want to just say this because this is going to be the theme of the video, I'm pretty sure. This is somebody who is not just fed up with dating. He is fed up with the game. Now, this is the thing. People like to point and say, oh, well, it's just because he's getting rejected and he's just having all these issues. Some of the most bitch getting this dude, some dudes who got all the options, they still deal with bitch problems. When Jay-Z said, you know, he got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one, that shit was a fucking lie. Now, I could unpack that another day, but we're just going to leave Jay-Z alone because of the time of this video. I'm trying to, you know, not make this 50 minutes. But listen, we get that point. Even the most bitch getting this, money getting this guys have issues with women and stuff like that. And that's something I want to talk about one day because I was just telling one of my guys or a few of my guys like, yo, it is very funny because a chick will be head over heels over a guy that has a lot of options and she knows a air quote top tier man or just a fucking winner. Even if he's not air quote top tier, this is like clearly a winner and a lot of other bitches want him and you are actually replaceable, but you want him more than he wants you as a woman. And they will still play games with these guys that are like their dream guys or guys that they truly admire, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, why the fuck are you playing these games? And that brings me to the thing that I said earlier as far as him lacking a fundamental understanding. And the fundamental understandings are two things. Number one, the game exists because of women. It exists because of women's nature. Women actually like the game. They could tell you that they don't. They could tell you whatever. But even if we pretend or just agree with a chick who says, no, I don't like the game. I don't like, let's just say that a chick says that. There more than likely has been a guy who was somewhere around a 5 or a 6 on her attraction meter, meaning he was okay. But over the course of time, him proving himself, him vibing with her, et cetera, that attraction, she began to see things in him. That attraction rose from a 5 to about an 8, somewhere on an 8. It didn't make him an 8, but that attraction level was an 8. And that is enough for him to sleep with her. Women have been getting seduced since the dawn of I ain't gonna say since the dawn of time, but like, you know, for centuries. And the reason being, the people who can be flat out, straight up front, honest, and just yo, I'm trying to fuck like out the gate and that work for them. Those are guys that are like, if we go back thousands of years ago, that would be a king or somebody like that. Somebody with a very high status to where like everybody would love to be in a position where they could fuck with this guy and reap the benefits, et cetera, et cetera. If we look at now, I mean, you as a guy, you could do that. Like you listening, you could do that. And there will be somebody more than likely that you will find success doing that with. Like, you know, but the thing about it is, for you, it might be a wildly obese chick. For you, it might be a chick that you're not really that attracted to who really look up to you that's like a fucking 4. And she might not be fat as fuck. And even if you are a air quote top tier guy, I mean, Jake Paul or Logan Paul has said that he had like a bunch of like, you know, he brought a bunch of chicks out, right? He brought a bunch of chicks out to like a cabin or something like that. And they were supposed to be fucking all weekend. And this is one of the chicks who went and got on somebody else's podcast and tried to expose him. And all that happened was he got in a room with her, and everybody, like, she's like a sex worker, bro. Everybody knew what it was when they came through. Like, they all thoughts. So it's like y'all all fucking all weekend. She get in the room, she want to talk, she want to play shy and shit like that. She want him to go through the motions and like really seduce her. And he like, bitch, that's not what this is. I'm fucking Logan Paul. I just got talked off by two babes. So what is you talking about? So listen, are you trying to smash or not? No? Okay, that's fine. Listen, you know, I respect you, but you're not going to be able to stay the weekend here. I'll pay for your ride back. That's what he did. So my whole point, as far as number one, as far as the game existing because of women, is because every guy wants to get sex, but they don't want to have sex with every guy. And even then, just how they work as far as attraction, they are more like a volume knob. You know, you got to crank them up slowly. It'll heat up, you know, like the thermostat or something like that. Men are more like a button. We see something, you press the button, ejecto, cedo, penis. There you go. So that's the first thing. You have to understand that. The second thing, and this is very important, women are dishonest by nature. That's just what it is. They are dishonest by nature. When you look at their mating strategies, when you look at, you know, how you get flaked and things like that, et cetera, they are comfortable with lying and deception. When you look at the makeup they wear, when you look at the tummy tuck shit that they wear, when you look at the wigs that they wear, like all of that is deception. It's not you wearing an outfit. You are literally changing your whole appearance. I've talked a bunch of times about chicks doing a purity cap, which is basically when they, without you even asking, lie about their body count, or lie about being celibate, or just lie about anything related to sex, like, oh man, I never sucked dick, anything like that. So when you understand that, you can get in the camera and you can say, I would respect you, They don't give a fuck about your respect. What they give a fuck about is getting attention and free food. And, you know, if they're attracted to you, things are going to go your way. If they're not attracted to you, it's not. So the best thing you can do as a man in the dating field, like just the best thing you could do, is learn how to be detached. Because as an average man, which most men are average, some are below average. It's even worse if you're below average. The average man is going to experience lots of rejection. You got to get accustomed to that. Even men who are not average men, above average men, still experience rejection. And when it comes down to the dates and things like that, I always say, you could set up a date with a chick, you thinking everything is going good because you probably don't know no better. Then the date day comes, she not answering your phone, she not replying to your texts. It's time to go. You wondering if she gonna show up or not. The next day she hits you, and it's always something tragic that you cannot argue with. Oh man, my son just fell off the Empire State Building yesterday. Oh man, my car just blew up. Oh man, my house got shot up by, the cartel. Like, it's always something ridiculous, and it's always an emergency. Always. We're going to get back to the vid in a second, but I'm going to give you two examples of this that I have on the channel right now. You got the one video with the single black woman. Her face it's a recent video I did in the past 30 days. She was late to multiple dates, and she only gave an excuse for one of the dates that she was late to. And it was because her sister was having a meltdown, a crisis. So she was hours late. So that's one on my channel where she was late because her sister was having a crisis. What can you say to her sister having a crisis? You can't say shit. Now the other chick who was on the dating show, like the Pop the Balloon reunion shit. She was sitting with, the dude was a baller. He was like, everything about him was great. But she was playing games. She was late. She didn't have an excuse, but she was late. She didn't even respond to him the day before or the day of until 5 minutes before the date. And he just canceled the whole shit before that, because it's like, you ain't text me for 2 days. Oh, this must be off. And then she shows up 5 minutes late without texting him the first 2 days. And she has the nerve to be mad that he didn't show up to the date, that she didn't confirm, and she didn't communicate with him for 2 days. But let's get back to this clip.
Like cutting the fat off the edge of a steak. You're gone. A lot of the women's excuses are, oh, I don't know, I'm not ready. They just fuck them after like a date or two, and then they're not ready for... What do you women want? What do you fucking ladies want? Huh? What does it take anyway to get your attention? A Mercedes in a mansion? Is that what it takes? Well, someday when I'm there, you bet your ass, since I'm going to have the cards, the royal flush in my hand, I'm going to pick which pair of fucking sixes I want. Okay? Not you, me. All right? I mean, me and my friends are getting hurt, treating you women right, we're getting fucked over. Now this I just heard last night. We're not taking it anymore. You understand? You want to know why guys are becoming horny pigs? Because you women, tried honestly, ain't putting out enough. Oh, and I've heard this from many guys. One guy literally said verbatim, you could have this much cash, you're still not getting laid on Long Island.
That's because money doesn't equate to pussy. His entitlement is way too high. His entitlement is way too high, especially for the results that he gets, and even especially with the clip that we seen, and him like telling the chick he was gonna spend $700,000. Like, you're lying. You're lying. I don't gotta know his pockets to know, because I went and seen an article about him having a stroke, and they had a GoFundMe link that's gone. And it's like, if you had $700,000, you wouldn't need a GoFundMe for any medical procedure. You just wouldn't, not a hospital stay. So you lied, talking about he treating the chicks good and shit like that. You dog the bitch out because she ain't want to fuck with you. You got to take that shit on the chin. That's what you got to do, bro. You got to understand that's a game. No matter how you feel about it, you can't start treating chicks in ridiculous ways. And I'm not talking about bad boy shit, but I'm talking about she rode with you and you leave her there. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. But let me say something very quickly as well, as far as like, because we got the money shit out the way. This is why you don't lead with your wallet. This is why you don't take chicks on dates. Like you got to find a way, like you put in the time, talk, like, and I understand when you get older and you trying to date women within your age bracket, the older age, they whole shit is different. They whole expectations are different at this point. So if you were trying to date them, I get it. And that's why they get so fucking pissed. When you like, fucking, I'm going to date chicks in their 20s, I'm going to date chicks in their early 30s, and you 40, like they get mad. It really don't be the early 30s. It'd be like, if you go in the 20s, they be so mad because guess what? They was fucking for free. They gave all their good pussy away in their 20s for high fives and handshakes. Now they want steaks. Now they want to tell you about, you know, their phone bill that they can't pay, or, you know, oh, my tire done went flat. They want to tell you about their problems to see if you're going to pay for them because they tested you and shit like that. That's how the game goes when you start fucking with these old hoes.
Either like seriously, we'll all move out of Long Island so there ain't no men left for you women to date and use for dinners. How's that? There's another thing I ponder, and it's this. Now, I could be wrong, but from the years of this trend, I'm almost positive my theory is correct. Now, I'm no Copernicus, but I'll tell you, or Isaac Newton, but I'll tell you what. I'm smart enough to figure this shit out. So I will appreciate the comments back, honest comments, responses from you ladies. So if you had a taller guy who's basically a thug or a piece of shit, or not much going for him, but he's got a big schlong. No career, no education, treats you like crap. Do you honestly prefer that over a shorter guy who's cool, still cool, has hobbies, his own place, a car, his own business, blah, 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 blah. Many, many positives with a few negatives. Do you truly still pick that person? So I would like to know the truth to that.
And see, that's his issue, expecting honesty out of women. Like, even then, he knows the answer to this. Like, cause he pretty much labeled himself, like he painted a picture of himself, and he knows those other guys get better results than he does. What he should be doing at this point is trying to figure out why. What is it exactly? Because business owner is cool. We know short is a strike. We just got to keep it real. They do not give a fuck about your hobbies and then everything else like morals and value. They don't give a fuck about none of that. I talk about pookies all the time. You know, when it comes down to it, they stimulate them emotionally and they feel protected. And these guys typically have some sort of status within a neighborhood or within an area, et cetera, or just within, air quote, the streets, you know. So it really depends on the guy and, you know, the girl, if that's what she's into, because every girl is not into pookies.
And obviously, if you pick the other person, I could be wrong, but I think you might be fucking stupid. Okay? Oh, God. I need Excedrin. Why don't you all women just make a viral video saying what you want in a guy, you know, and if all the guys here on Long Island don't meet your criteria of being rich, tall, handsome, blah, 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 then maybe what I'll do for all the rest of us that are shunned and not given a shit about, maybe I'll just hire the marshal's office, arrest all of us that you women don't like, and I'll have them ship us in a box to fucking Somalia. Then I'll have them ship all the hunkiest, hottest, tallest asshole guys that...
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I can't do no more. Listen, man. This is what it comes down to, man. Dude is frustrated. He hate the game, man. His results is really bad. And this is what you gotta do, man. I already gave you a lot of the understandings in this video that you gotta have. And what you gotta do, if you gonna play the game, you gotta understand the game and not play it from a place of bitterness. You got to control your frustrations with the game. And the things that lead to you being frustrated is things where you believe women are supposed to be honest, or you believe that you have a high entitlement. Chicks should be fucking with me. Oh, she should give me sex because I took her out on 3 dates. And like, you got to start to realize these chicks don't owe you nothing. They not honest. And to win the game, you got to not just play the game, but you got to put yourself in the best position to win the game. So I'm going to keep it a bean. I'm going to keep it a bean. I don't care how I sound, dude. It's short. This is the playbook I feel like he should go by, bro. The first thing, man, you got to figure out what type of chicks you like as far as the demographic. And you got to be extra fucking fly. Meaning when it comes to your fashion, when it comes to your haircut and grooming, etc., etc., you look like exactly what they want. And it's got to be true to you to some extent. For example, he's talking about thugs and all that stuff. He's not a thug, so you shouldn't dress like a thug. You shouldn't like certain shit that thugs wear. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. The second thing, from a mindset standpoint, he has to not only lose the entitlement, but he has to become more detached. But on top of that, he has to work on his mouthpiece as far as his game when he talks to chicks and stuff like that. But most importantly, this is the most important thing. He needs to find other short people that get women. People that he can look at in real life that he actually knows, that he can look at and say, well, if this guy can do it, I definitely can do it. He can look at other people as far as famous short guys that get like, babes or whatever, or just internet figures that are short to get babes. Like he could do all that. For example, somebody like Casanet is not tall, but he gets babes. He needs to begin to find proof to shatter that limiting belief. That's what, and the thing is, the proof is all out there. It's all out there. And I think that alone will be good enough, but I'm going to say a couple more things. And this is the thing that I said that you might not want to hear that's real. The first thing is, he keep talking about this money shit. He was talking about $700,000 in the one video. And then he was talking about, a guy told him, oh man, you can have all the money in the world. It's still not going to get you no twat. Listen, if you going to lead with money, if you going to play the money game, it come down to two things, dog. Two things. And again, I don't care how this sound. Number one, how you spend your money. How you spend your money. And number two, you're going to have to trick a little bit. You're going to have to become comfortable with the idea of tricking if you are going to be one of those guys who thinks money is supposed to get you babes. Now, the reason I say those two things, the first one is self-explanatory, because if you buy things that are status symbols like a McLaren or something like that, or you got a really nice house and you live in a really nice area or something like that, if you could get a chick in your car back to your crib, like, that should be game over. If you're going to be a guy who leads with money. Now, as far as the tricking, I can't really tell you about that. Everything that I'm saying on this tip come from what I've seen with drug dealers my whole life. When you look at some of these dudes, even non-drug dealers, they do the thing where they fly chicks out and stuff like that. Some of these dudes don't get no butt when they fly a chick out to Jamaica or the Bahamas or wherever they go, Turks and Caicos. Some of them don't get no butt. And that's the worst shit. So it's not something I really advise. But if you want to do that, go find you a trick and dating guru, somebody that's telling you got to spend that bread. I don't know if it's going to be Andrew Tate or whoever it's going to be. But go do that. I'm not the guy. I'm not the guy. I just laid that out because I know those are options, and I know there are dudes who get butt doing that. But if you go out and you become that guy, don't come and try to point the finger back at me like, yo, I was tricking and it didn't work. Listen, I'm just laying out options. That's all I'm doing. You could go sell crack too, but that's not something I would advise. But with that being said, I'm done with the tricking talk. So let's get off of that. Everything else I said is on point. Now, I'm pretty sure I said you got to make a decision. This is the decision that you have to make. If you relate to this guy, or even this guy, if he's still alive and he's healthy and he's still dealing with you got to make a decision. You got to either A, play the game, and if you play the game, everything that I just said applies, or B, opt out of the game. You opt out of the game, and what does that mean? That means you go your own way, you start meditating, you go on the mountains, you start hiking, you're doing all that shit. You're just done. You're done. You don't even want to play the game no more. You just tapped out. You MGTOW. The other option, in my opinion, is to take a break and level up. These are words Wiz Khalifa said that I know changed a lot of dudes' lives because I heard a few dudes say it. Instead of worrying about who that bitch fucking, why don't you get you some money? You focus on your career, you focus on your hustle, you focus on building a business, you focus on whatever you got to do, and put all that energy that you would put into women focusing on money. Now, this is the thing that I want you to know. When you do that, don't think the bitch is going to start falling from the sky. Just don't think that. And with that being said, that's it for today, man. Let me know your thoughts. I'm gone.